Have you ever been accused of something that you knew that you didn't do, but the rumor that you did it floats around and you can't stop it from floating around, and then everybody thinks that you did it, and you have to stop the rumor somehow and prove your innocence? When I was in college, I went to my friend's house. There was a group of people there all watching football. I'm not the biggest sports guy, I don't really care, but if I get invited to go watch sports at someone's house, I'll go. We're all hanging out, and I went to the bathroom. I might have been in the bathroom for 5, maybe 10 minutes. I come back. We watch the rest of the game. The next day, I get a text. Did you eat his meatball sub? I'm not going to say his name, but I was accused of going to the kitchen, opening the refrigerator, and eating half of a meatball sub. Now, it was the remaining half. Half of the sub had apparently already been eaten, but I was completely unaware of this because I didn't even open the fridge and was unaware that there was a meatball sub in the fridge ripe for consumption. But I didn't do it. I know that I didn't do it. This happened about 5 years ago. But about 2 years ago, another sub rumor floated around. But this sub rumor was a little bit bigger than the meatball sub rumor that happened 5 years ago to me. This sub rumor was about the tuna sub from Subway. You might remember all of the memes. The tuna sub from Subway is not real tuna. Let me tell you something about me and the tuna sub from Subway. I have been eating the tuna sub from Subway my entire life. I get extra onions. I get the Chipotle mayo ranch dressing, and I get salt and vinegar or sour cream and onion chips that I crunch up and I put on the tuna sub from Subway, and it is so yummy. I highly recommend it. But a lot of people aren't tuna people. I am a tuna person. I grew up with tuna. My mom made me tuna sandwiches as a child and would take me to Subway where I would get a tuna sub. I love the tuna sub from Subway, and I've never questioned the authenticity of the tuna from Subway. Well, in 2021, a woman took her hatred of the tuna sub to the next level. She sued Subway, claiming that the tuna was not tuna. Her first complaint to the court alleged that the tuna wasn't tuna, but that complaint wasn't specific enough. So she brought another complaint. She said that the tuna wasn't 100% tuna, meaning it could include other species or of fish or other animals. Now, she brought in experts to prove that the tuna wasn't tuna. She brought in DNA experts to prove that the tuna wasn't tuna. Meanwhile, Subway's lawyers were doing the exact same thing. They also brought in experts to prove that their tuna was tuna. And I mean, I'm just imagining the power dynamics between this woman who's bringing a lawsuit against Subway. Like, I'm just imagining her experts consist of like Professor Farnsworth from Futurama just walking in. This tuna sub, just pretend like this is a sub. This tuna sub, there's no tuna in this. And then the camera pans to like Zoidberg, and there's just a tuna fish falling out of his pocket or something. Meanwhile, Subway's lawyers consist of like Jimmy Neutron and Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory, like, and Rick from Rick and Morty walks in and reverse engineers the life cycle of a tuna sandwich to prove that it was like a tuna fish, a real tuna. All that to say, her experts said that it was not tuna. Subway's experts said that it was tuna. Now, what really killed this case was the discovery process. The plaintiff's attorneys, according to the lawsuit that I read, completely flubbed up the discovery process. I'm reading from the case. So this is the judge talking about the plaintiffs, the woman suing Subways, her lawyers. Counsel failed to meet deadlines, including deadlines to serve discovery responses, failed to serve expert disclosures, failed to file all of the supplemental materials ordered by the judge, filed an untimely and false declaration, produced deficient discovery response. They just did everything wrong. this plaintiff's counsel seemed to just mess up at every single turn. The plaintiff ended up dismissing the lawsuit. According to some articles, she got pregnant and she didn't want to deal with the litigation. And Subway's counsel was totally fine with that, except that they pushed for for prejudice, meaning that if the judge grants the motion to dismiss with prejudice, then Subway could not be sued for this again, which is exactly what happened. The judge dismissed the case with prejudice, which is sort of the judge saying it's tuna, which is great. I mean, because it is tuna. And that's about it. But I think that the best thing to come from this lawsuit is subway.com/tuna facts, where it's a page on Subway's website dedicated to proving that their tuna is tuna. And in big black bold letters on the front page of this website, it says Subway tuna lawsuit dismissed. Cool. So I just thought that was funny. It's a goofy lawsuit. I think that it was kind of frivolous. She was alleging that there was no tuna in it, but there clearly was. And even if there's not, according to the law, the tuna sub from Subway has tuna in it. All right. Peace.